unmanaged others were injured. They further killed or nursing bales and that their bodies were recovered from areas close to barricades, building entrances, and gutters running through tivoli gardens. In addition to injuries and to torture, the buildings will continue, and the public will be informed of the outcome. Before, has there been such an all-out attack on police stations across Kingston? Days ago, criminals set fire to the Honeycomb station. They struck again last night. This time, the Darling Street police station was their target. The blaze did extensive damage to the entire building. And still in the corporate area, the Kingston Central Police had a hard time warding off from the surrounding community. The police have to be careful not to shoot bystanders who continue to defy orders to clear the shop. A contingent of soldiers passing through the area at one point provided temporary support to the police force. It was tough maintaining law and order for a couple of hours, but the police took their ground and ensured they weren't surprised by gunmen disguised as passengers. They picked up a man of interest during the search of his house. Every unmarked car passing by the station was a potential threat to the police until they could verify its occupants. The police were intent on occupying the entire East Queen Street, even if it meant calling for backup. There is no concrete evidence to suggest that the attacks on the police stations are coordinated. But while the Kingston Central Police were busy warding off gunmen, their colleagues were also busy trying to find men who had attacked their Kenyan division at Harmongar. The police followed strict orders to search all emergency vehicles. An elderly man on a bicycle was arrested for carrying an M16 round concealed in a glasses case. Inside the downtown business district, soldiers moved the street. Their numbers grew as they got closer to tivoli gardens. They monitored every corner. This mentally ill man failed to get their attention. Broken stores littered Darling Street and the surrounding area. Soldiers strategically placed on buildings and tivoli gardens overlooking the area. Sandbags put in place to offer guard against enemy fire. The media was not allowed anywhere near the entrance to the tivoli gardens community. After detail placed to the street when police arrived along Slighton Road near Trenton Bridge where a roadblock was mounted. And we were the Kingston Public Hospital where some of the bodies were both seen.
Parliament was our destination, but getting there would prove impossible. As gunfire rang out and we had to reverse from street after street, we eventually took cover at KPH. We've been trying to get to Parliament for over an hour now, but each time we leave here at KPH, we hear heavy gunfire. So we're back. We're basically trapped. Now, the police have just brought in a number of people who they were all pronounced dead. We counted 12. We have no idea where they were killed. The officers weren't speaking about it. Before then, this little boy was taken in by the police. He had been shot too. This man had to walk to the hospital with an injured arm. We are still not sure where he was shot or by whom. We have also been receiving photographs of dead bodies, reportedly of casualties in Tivoli. Museum McLeod, TVJ News.
Nightmare this evening. 19 people have been killed there over the last 2 days. Other reports suggest 21. Gunmen in Spanish Town appear to be on a bloody rampage, attacking residents as well as the police. That's our response report.
Although no state of emergency has been declared for Spanish Town, the killings over the last few hours would suggest that there is also a war in the old capital. The first spate of killings began yesterday in a residential section of Spanish Town called Crescent, where gunmen barged into homes shooting 9 people. 4 were killed. Then there were 2 killings in Central Village. The onslaught continued into the night when gunmen made their way to another community called Monkeytown and snuffed out the lives of 3 others. Its streets were then blocked and set on fire. Monkeytown is across the street from the better-known De La Vega City neighborhood. A 7-year-old boy was among the victims. He was mercilessly shot in the head. Today, it became even more difficult to keep up with the body count, as our news team was called to scene after scene, the killings mere minutes apart. As the sun came up, so did news that 5 people had been killed on Marchden Road. They were cut down before dawn. Gunmen had gone from door to door, deciding who should live and who should die. Among those, they paid God with a 7-month-old baby. The baby girl was killed along with 4 men. Houses were set on fire. Neighbors tried to get involved. They were punished with gunfire. A police team responded. They too were engaged in a fierce gun battle. One of the alleged gunmen was shot and killed, and 2 firearms seized. The others apparently escaped, but this did not stop the attacks. We understand that the gunmen returned and proceeded to search a total of 10 houses. The police also returned for a second gun battle. That one lasted well into the morning. As gunshots punctuated the air, stubborn residents were brought to street for cover. Not even the presence of every other personnel in the community was able to save off the gunfire. We're here at the entrance of Marchden Road, and the tension seems to be rising by the minute. The law enforcement have gone in with the intention of trying to quell what is happening in the area, but every effort is met by sporadic gunfire from the gunmen. The officers fought feverishly to get the situation under control, and sometime after 11 o'clock, there was some semblance of order in the area. But before it got to midday, another 3 lay dead on Maxwell Road. Gunmen coming from the direction of Spanish Town, over to the area, opening fire and killing on men who were buying and playing dominoes at the bar. When the hail of bullets ended, 39-year-old security guard Peter McBean, 23-year-old Tyler Dwayne Murray, and a 26-year-old Robert Franklin lay dead. A 14-year-old student of Cumberland High was shot and injured. He was taken to hospital, but his condition is still not known. The residents say the men also opened fire on persons who were conducting business in the police office nearby. The bar's owner shared her ordeal.
I was in the shop, and I hear a barrage of shots outside Papa, run for my life, and when I come back, I find 3 somebody on the floor.
Overcome by grief, the Cookstown residents, dazed and teary, expressed shock and concern about the apparent invasion of their community. But our news team couldn't carry another call about a body on the ground, this time in Waterford, Fort Moore. We learned that before him, 3 others had been cut down. This afternoon, the extent of the situation apparent, South Central St. Catherine Member of Parliament Sharon Hay Webster pressed the Prime Minister on whether the state of emergency will be extended to St. Catherine.
I take note of the event that you have referred to. It would have happened after the death, we would have to consult with the security forces that have not only in terms of the need, but also in terms of the capacity to maintain the kind of intensity that would be required in an area that is subject to emergency powers. That's certainly on the state of consult.
That's why it's sent TVJ News.